Okay, so I want to thank everyone for taking the time to join myself and Jason from Quipt. We are going to give everyone else another minute or two before we get started. This is scheduled to last about 25 to 30 minutes or so. Um, so we'll give everyone another minute or two to see who will join. We are recording this as well, so we will send this recording out. Someone that couldn't make it from your team, uh, I will send this out um, after the webinar is over. And then again, you can always reach out to if you have other questions too. Let's give it another minute or two, and then we'll get started. All right, I guess we can get started here. Once again, I do appreciate everyone taking the time to join us for this, and I do want to appreciate Jason from Quipt for volunteering to educate us on some pretty powerful stuff here that he's going to go through. We did a webinar before with Quipt. And they kind of showcased how they can make online selling easy with IQ Reseller. On this particular webinar, we're going to expand a bit on that as well. I do ask everyone to keep yourself muted for the time being. At the end, you can unmute yourself if you have any questions. If you decide that you don't want to come off mute, you can put your question in the chat as well. What we're gonna do is for some of you that don't know who IQ Reseller is, I'll go through and give you a little rundown about myself and IQ Reseller. Jason is the founder and CEO of Quipt. Give you a little background on Quipt, and then he's going to go off and take it from there with his presentation. So Jason, if you want to go ahead and move to slide 2 here. So for you that are on this call that you don't know who IQ Reseller is or myself, I'm John Spagnolo. I am the president of IQ Reseller. IQ Reseller has actually been around for many, many years. Most of you probably have heard of us. We are a cloud-based ERP software solution that's designed for the secondhand market for those that are in the used IT space. So our software can help you better run your business for those that are resellers, brokers, ITADs, parts, and anything within the resale of IT goods. So what makes IQ really, really unique is that we're built for the secondhand market, like I said. So we're designed to handle thousands of different types of SKU numbers to where some of the more ERP softwares are out there for manufacturing of new goods. So we can help you easily manage and track those items on hand. We do have a built-in purchasing module. We have a built-in inventory management module, as well as a order fulfillment and sales module. And then we have also, makes us really, really unique, is we have a built-in accounting function that's always running in the background as well. And then lastly, we do have a custom report writer tool that can allow you to extract any of the data that you have to allow you to then make those critical business decisions with the data that's provided. If you do want to learn more about IQ, and if you're not too familiar with IQ, I highly recommend you go to demo.iqreseller. You can book a demo with my sales guy, Jake, and he can kind of run you through the entire system. On the left side of the screen here, you do see some of the things that we do offer within IQ Reseller. So, Jason?
Beautiful. Thanks, Sean. And it's been a great partnership. I think we've been integrated for maybe 5 or 6 years. Real
it's been
stable.
a while now.
Yeah, real stable system you've built. Haven't really experienced any sort of challenges, downtime, anything. So kudos to you, and thankful for the partnership that we've built. Thanks everybody for joining today. It's a busy time of year, and do appreciate your time. I'll try to move through this as quickly as possible and get to the meat of the presentation, which is why most of you are here today. Quick overview though, first on our business. We're a middleware solution designed specifically for leading refurbishers of pre-owned devices. Here's a visual of exactly how our platform works. We have this integration already built to IQ Reseller. So all of the data necessary for your business to live online is already being exchanged between Quipt and IQ Reseller, whether that be us pulling your inventory or pushing sales orders or getting back invoices, these types of things. All of these exchanges are pre-built and ready to go. What we then do is translate that file structure into the myriad of different structures that the data needs to live out on the online world. And what this turns into is something that looks pretty clean here in this slide. But as you get into it, you find that no two channels use the same standards, use the same sort of data structure. So it becomes a real challenge to get your single file to be translated into the various languages that these companies run on. Our platform, I will point out, because I think we do have either some retailers on the call or that'll be watching the replay. Our platform differentiates itself from others in this space where we deliver value to both sides. So where today we're talking about supply and how we can push it onto these online marketplaces, for new online marketplaces that are looking to connect to supply, we use those same tool sets to drive efficiencies to their businesses. So that if you're back market in 2018 and you want to go out and get a large amount of supply, you want structured data, you need all of these standards. Quipt does all of those translations between our suppliers so that somebody like Backmarket or Rebelo last year can tap directly into our 50 plus refurbished partners catalogs and start transacting with them within days. And this is a real differentiator in this space where things are usually take weeks, months, quarters. The way we designed our system is so that we can deliver value to both sides and through a flip of a switch. So what I'm going to dive into today is the catalog exchange here. And what this looks like is kind of the essential building blocks of your business. If you're early on in your migration into online, if you've been doing it for a while, the digital native attribution, the set of attributes that define what cosmetically graded product sits in your warehouse, that is the most important piece of your business and where you need to understand your business, and how once you do, you can start to then interpret and understand an amazing amount of things about how those products perform. Just to define what digital native attribution or DNA stands for, is it's category based. So the attribution for a laptop is different from a tablet, from a smartphone. This is probably pretty obvious. But what it looks like is for some of the sophisticated products that you might be refurbishing, there could be over 45 of these attributes. And these are the ways that you want to understand that asset so that you can then translate it into all of the online different marketplaces and start to manage that business properly. All of these categories, so we have some that are 45 plus, and today I'll actually be walking you through an example of a laptop which has a lot of attributes. Some of these attributes might have very few attributes. The minimum that you're going to find for any category is going to be 2. I don't think I've seen any with just 2, but it is quite a spectrum of the attributes that you need to understand your products, kind of how they're, what they are. Where do these come from? These are driven by consumer keyword searches. And what consumers search for on Amazon might be nuanced different from eBay, might be different from Walmart, might be different from Backmarket. What Quipt does is aggregates all of their required attributes and stores those into a single attribute can then be mapped to back market standards, eBay standards, so on and so forth. One thing I wanted to point out on this call that should help everybody, regardless of whether you're an IQ current client or future client, Quipt current or future, is embedding these attributes into your SKUs will save you a lot of time and energy and headache as you move to the online business. And this might look like, if you do iPhones, you might put in IPH dash, the generation, the gigabyte, the carrier, these types of things. If your SKU is built that way, it'll translate very easily into the online space. Whereas we've seen some clients that have this naming convention for their SKUs that is impossible. It requires somebody on their team to actually interpret what it means in the online space. So these attributes are category based. They are dynamic. You need a structure that you can add to and you can subtract from. These products, a laptop will get new attribution like Optane memory or things like that, and it will lose attribution like floppy disk drives or things that get discontinued. So now that we know what digital native attribution is, I thought it would be good to show you how we take that and we map it to all of the leading marketplaces, which we now support over 20 marketplaces. But this is a visual here that shows you for a single laptop, the way that you want to understand that product so that it can live simultaneously on all of the marketplaces where consumers today are buying those products. And on the left, you can see all of the different attributes are listed here. And you can see how these attributes, and this is a very intense graphic here, it takes a while to render, but you can see all of the attributes that we aggregate and how those then get mapped out into all of the marketplaces. We can look at this through a different view and see how 2-in-1 hybrids are mapped onto back market. We can see how, let's see what this is, MacBooks take life on eBay. What this is a very challenging, very sophisticated set of translation tools that we take this single native attribution and translate it into all of our partners' languages so that we can create catalog items in their catalog. This is something that we're not aware of any other middleware company that actually does the mappings and generates the listings. So this is something that if you're using another platform, you probably have one to multiple people that are going and trying to perform this task. And if you're one of those companies, I just ask you to make a mental picture in your mind of this diagram, because that team who may get something wrong and map it improperly or might be a little sluggish, this is a level of complexity of what it takes for a human to do something that really technology should drive. In this, and as we dive deeper into why we're here today, just trying to kind of build up to this whole pricing buy box, how can we get you very accurate, very consistent buy box data, is we create the listings for you on the marketplaces or sync into the existing catalog item. And within this big tangled web, there is a data point down here, which is price. And what we can see is, based off of all of these attributes on all of these marketplaces, what is that singular data point, the price, which we think unlocks a massive amount of opportunity and potential to really drive your business forward, make you more successful, whether you are somebody selling or you're a marketplace. This is a journey. So what I'm going to demonstrate today is actually how the technology works. We'll look at an example. But I wanted to point out before we get into this that this is a journey. This is what our roadmap looks like. The journey begins with aggregating buy box prices, which again we'll demonstrate today. But where it ends is in this vision of automating trade. So if we know what inventory you have and we know what the marketplaces are converting, can we create a set of tools to really start streamlining and then automating this so that your partners on the marketplace side or your partners on the supply side can come together and really scale up the business without having to manually change all of these things and monitor all of these things that take so much time and energy in the current state. A couple of key points around this first iteration that we're rolling out. We currently support Amazon, eBay, Walmart, and Backmarket. I do want to thank, if any of our partners from those companies are watching this, I want to thank them for all of their time and commitment helping us with this project. It's been quite the undertaking, but we're very excited with the potential and being able to actually execute this. We are either in the process of implementing it or will be implementing it with every one of our partners. So if they're not on the initial list, they will be before we move further down the road. All of our partners will be giving us their buy box data. This is an open API. So this data that we're going to see today is in our web application. We do have full API support. This means that if you have technical sophistication, if you want to access this data in bulk through automation, you can use our API to automate these things at a real grand scale. But today, for purposes of this call, I'm going to show in our actual user interface how this data is generated, tracked, and visualized. Final thing is this is a beta release, and we are not using any scrapers. So if you want to know about the accuracy of the data, because a lot of people out there talk about being able to go and get the A, B, C graded cosmetic prices on all these marketplaces. If you're using scrapers, your accuracy is going to be 50%, 40%, these types of numbers. By actually using that digital native attribution, our accuracy should be 100%. So I have just run my mouth quite a bit, but I will continue on here. Bear with me. So what does this actual tool look like? I'm taking you into an actual production environment of a client. This is the Quipt user interface. If you're a client, you're familiar with it. If you're not, we have a variety of videos where you can become familiar with it. But what this is a single laptop living within our platform. And if we go back to that digital native attribution, we can see that this is the list of those attributes that are stored singularly in our database. So this could be populated. If you have this data, you can populate it through our API, you can push it through an upload, or you can have it input through our user interface, either somebody on your team, or we actually have a team offshore that does this for some of our large clients. But this is the level of attribution that you need to understand a laptop at in order to drive the intelligence and the pricing and pull in all of this data that is going to be become critical for your business. You can see the images here. All of these things, again, stored singularly, distributed to an infinite number of marketplaces. What I'll show you is the actual marketplaces that this product is distributed to. So what we see here is our outgoing feed drawer. And what you can see if you have been using Quipt is we have now added in a buy box column. And for this example that we're looking at, we can see that it is live on Amazon. We have the buy box, back market, the buy box, eBay, the buy box. We do not have the buy box for anybody other than these, but what I can do is I can actually expose to you each and every one of these listings, so you can see again how they were created, imagery, consistent, pricing, consistent. But what isn't consistent is the descriptions. What isn't consistent is all of the attributes that go into this. Again, these are the languages of each of the marketplaces where they work with our team on all the keywords, and we try to drive those into the platform. Back market, you'll see different structure, but again, same imagery and all of the same attribution, and down to the level of Amazon, where you can see the listing has been created and we're tracking the buy box for this asset. Just thinking out loud, if you see this product is not selling very well, we have other tools like in this specific use case, you might say, hey, I have the buy box on every one of these partners. I need to lower my price to $199 through a single keystroke, and I won't do this, and saving this, I will then drop my price down, which should increase sales. Alternatively, you can go into any one of these partners and you can schedule time-based special price drops. These types of tools, which inevitably we look to create automation around, but today our clients can see in real time how the product is performing on all their marketplaces and whether they need to be making pricing decisions based on market conditions. So while that was a lot of talking from me, John, any follow-up thoughts or questions?
What I thought was really great about that is that slide where you had the interactive slide where you took that MacBook and you went down to see how it gets distributed through eBay and all of the different things it has to be thought of, and how it can be funneled in from the start to the finish, and just how powerful that your tool can almost take all of that out and make it almost real time and simplify it with that. So that's what really sticks out to me, is just how it can take all of that data and just really simplify it. So there's not a lot of thought to it. Other than that, I thought it was a great, powerful presentation, very, very educational too. I do want to let everyone keep in mind as well is that if something does get sold through our integration, is that order would actually then get pushed into IQ Reseller. We showed that on a different webinar. I thought it was just not relevant to show today, as Jason had way more educational points to get across today. So we do have a question that came in though. Can you define and explain the buy box?
Yeah, hey, great question. Thank you, Joe, for asking something that I probably should have explained better. On these platforms, Amazon, Walmart, back market, and eBay is moving in this direction as well. They want to aggregate all of the sellers of the same cosmetic grade device into a single listing, so the consumer doesn't have to look through 50 different listings to figure out which one they want to buy. They want it organized to see all of the different offers, and the lowest one showing is the buy box. So if we look at Walmart, we can see here there's another seller with this exact same item in stock. The buy box is $228.99, and the alternative is that you can buy it for $248. So if you want to pay an extra $20, but again, as your devices live on these platforms, if you have the buy box, you should be generating sales. If you're not generating sales and you have the buy box, then you have a traffic problem to your listing, which you can either lower the price, throw advertising dollars, work with an account manager. There's a variety of ways to drive that, but critical when you sell online is, do I have the buy box? I hope I did a good job of explaining that, Joe.
We do have another question that came in. Do you have a full list of all of the e-commerce sites that you integrate with, Jason? I know on the first slide you did have a diagram that showed a bunch. I believe there's several others that you integrate with as well. Is that correct?
That's correct, and I'd be happy to send that list to you, Abby. The original slide does show many of the leading platforms that we're integrated with, but there are a variety of others. And it's an exciting time because the circular economy, pre-owned, everything is very much getting hot. And we have other marketplaces in early 2024 that'll be integrating. But I can get you a list. But these are the most meaningful marketplaces, Abby.
Good stuff. I don't see any other questions. So I do want to thank Jason. Jason, thank you for taking the time to present today. I thought that was very powerful. And I guess that will conclude the webinar.
Beautiful. Felt like a lot of talking on my part, but do appreciate everybody's time, and John, the partnership.